Hey, this is Heidi Dawson. If you love all things health and wellness and style of any kind, hang out here with me each week. I'm obsessed with never-ending improvement, and it's all in an effort to help each one of us live a wildly successful lifestyle. Subscribe today so you don't miss a thing.
Hi, guys. Welcome to episode 418 of the Wildly Successful Lifestyle Podcast. Thanks for being here. There's a lot to choose from in this world of information, and I'm grateful you're here with me. Okay, so I went to college a little later than the normal college kid. I was a little older than most of the kids in my classes. I went when I was 32, and everyone else was roughly 19. But I really wanted my interior design degree. It was hard to do, but it was so fun. Now, I had in my mind this glamorous idea of what an interior designer does and how they work and how they live. Now, all through school, there was this firm that was the number one place that any designer or architect that was newly graduated wanted to have a job there. It was a coveted position at a well-known, highly awarded local architect firm. I'm not going to call them out because they're really good people. So this was a company that was considered the elite. If you could work here, you have made it. So when I'm a senior about to graduate with my degree, I thought, okay, well, I'm going to go work for this company. That's my goal. That's what I want to do. It's the best of the best, right? So I put in my resume, and one of the architects, he was also the owner, spoke to my professors, and they said, oh yeah, she would definitely make a good hire for you. And so I got an interview, and then I got another interview, and then they decided they wanted to hire me. So they took me on a tour of their design floor, and I was so excited to see where my new office would be. You know, they have this cool downtown building. I was expecting floor to ceiling windows. I mean, they're a very cool architect firm. All of their projects win the best awards. So they take me to the design floor, and the head designer, who was going to be my boss, showed me where she worked. And she's been working at this firm for over 20 years. I don't remember exactly how long. And she's the head designer. She's a bigwig at the firm. And she shows me where she's working. I kid you not. It's a cubicle. And everyone else that was working, all the designers, were in cubicles. They weren't the full cubicles, so you could actually kind of see over them. But every single one of them was stacked with books of where they were choosing their items from. Or online where they were choosing their items. And I'm walking from person to person in their cubicles. I'm thinking to myself, this feels like a dungeon. I mean, this lady that is walking me around, she's been here over 20 years and she's still in a cubicle. I mean, I get it. A new designer in a cubicle, that's not a problem. But the head senior designers too, there's no hope to get out of them. This was not what I imagined. Because I'm already doing interior design for myself. I've been doing interior decorating for a while by that time. And now that I was getting my degree, I was graduating to interior design. And I thought I wanted to do bigger commercial projects. And this is what you get. Now, on top of that, when they gave me their presentation to make me an offer for the job, they said, you know, you could be working 50 to 70 hours a week on this salary in this cubicle where I can't see the outside. Let me say this too. I already was doing it. I have my own company. I've done small commercial and residential for years. And I work from home so I can set my own hours, and I also have a beautiful view of the outside. And honestly, I can make working part-time what they were offering me working full-time with who knows how many hours a week. So long story short, I did not take the job they offered. I didn't take the job, and I never looked back. Now, the point of the story is I had something in my mind that I had created that was glamorous and elegant, and that what that life was going to be so much better than what I was doing. It was just going to be so much better than what I was already doing, which is small projects, a few commercial projects, and beautiful residential projects. So I'm already going into these great houses and great spaces, and I get to shop anywhere I want. I don't have to choose things out of a book. And I also control my time, and I can make more money. I realized that I had created this thing in my head that wasn't real. I had glamorized what this job would be, when what I already had was way better than what they were offering me. It taught me a really valuable lesson that I forget sometimes, but only momentarily, because I know it's human tendency to think that it's going to be better over there, or that that job is glamorous, or they have a better life because look how they get to travel, or they have a better life because look at their big house, or their family's better than mine because they seem so close. And I'm not saying sometimes that that's not true. I mean, it could be. I'm just saying that a lot of our problems with sadness, depression, anger, or feelings of unworthiness and jealousy come from our thoughts. That what we have isn't good enough. That what we have is boring and less glamorous. That what we have isn't already everything we want. That line of thinking does and always will steal your joy. Every time it will steal your joy. That's why it's so important to notice when you're doing it and stop doing it. And these thoughts can come in the weirdest ways at the weirdest times. I was lying in bed one morning at 2:30 a.m. trying to go back to sleep. So I put on a sleep story. Now this sleep story is a woman who set the world record for traveling to every sovereign country in the world in the shortest amount of time. She traveled to 196 countries within 2 years. Amazing feat. And really cool thing to do. Now, I kid you not, my brain decided 2:30 in the morning, this was the good time to basically say, and what have you done? I mean, we're so boring. We're so uninteresting. We, meaning myself and my brain. No wonder I was having trouble going back to sleep while I let my brain have its way with me. Well, I finally did get back to sleep. Fortunately, I was able to put a different sleep story on and calm my brain down. But I had to separate myself from my thoughts, because if I didn't separate myself from my thoughts, I'd be in a lot of trouble. I would never feel great about myself, probably ever. Our brain will send us thoughts that we don't have to believe. We don't have to continue thinking them even. It's okay to argue with your brain. It's encouraged even to argue with your own brain. You're the boss of your brain, and you get to tell it what you're going to believe. So the next morning when I woke back up and I could tell I still kind of had that thought on my mind that I wasn't good enough, the thought, I'm not good enough. And so I got to work counteracting it. So my brain asked me, what have we done that's so great? And what we're, just telling me that I'm uninteresting. So I had to remind it. I started reminding myself of all the cool things I've done and continue to do, of all the accomplishments I've had and the things I've overcome. I am where I am, and it's more than okay. It's actually pretty amazing when I stop and think about it. I can't compare myself to the woman who won a world record for traveling to countries. For starters, I don't want to do that. It's not my interest. I'm proud of her, but I don't want to be her. Just like I don't want to be a designer for a glamorous firm while I sit in a cubicle stacked with books. If you're going to glamorize something, glamorize your life. Glamorize your amazing husband, your wild, amazing kids, your oh-so-fun travel. Glamorize the things about your life you do love, the things that maybe you've forgotten about, the things you've overcome, the people you've helped, the person you are today because of all you've experienced. You are where you are, and that's okay. And if you want more, you have the ability to have it. You just have to figure out the things you need to do to get it. Never underestimate yourself by putting yourself down, and never, ever compare yourself to other people. That will suck the joy right out of you. So don't do that. What you have may be exactly what you want. You just may have to remind yourself of that. My challenge to you today is to remind yourself of the cool things you've done. Glamorize the things you already have that you really do love. Remind yourself of the things you've overcome and accomplished that you're most proud of. Your brain may start telling you there's nothing, but I promise there are things you've overcome that no one else has. Maybe no one else could the way you did. And tell yourself, I am where I am, and that's more than okay. Because finding peace where you are right now is the fastest way to open doors to where you want to be tomorrow. Share this with 3 amazing people. I love you guys. I'll talk to you in a few days.
Don't forget to subscribe and share with your friends, because we're just going to keep going bigger and better places together, and I love that about us. Talk to you in a few days.